I'm so glad that you decided to join me today because I want to talk to you guys about, as you know, in the caption, this year of no meat. Share with you guys some of my highs, some of my lows. I've had a couple epic fails that are hilarious that I want to share with you guys, as well as some things that I've learned, etc. Right? So we're going to jump right in. I don't want to waste anybody's time. First of all, Happy New Year. It's 2019. It feels like 2018 just kind of flew past me. I don't know about you guys. It just flew past me. I'm like, oh, a new year already. It's been an awesome year of learning for me. I've grown so much as a person, and I've also learned areas that I have not grown, which are my goals to grow in this coming year, or this year. It's 2019. So I'm really excited to share one aspect of my growth, which was my dietary, I guess, limitations, people would call it. I don't call it a limitation. I call it actually freed me. So my dietary freedom is what I'll call it. Let's jump right in. So I want to talk about some things that I learned during this journey first. What I learned, the first thing that I learned is probably so Captain Obvious, is that I do not need meat. Let me get some light going in here. I'm in my living room. I'm trying to do this video before the kids get up and run around here. Um, what I learned is that I don't need meat. My whole life, I literally ate meat almost every single meal. I ate meat on top of meat. I have one of those families like if they make spaghetti with ground beef or ground turkey, that's just a side. You know what I mean? Like they gonna fry some chicken or some fish or something with it. So I grew up eating tons and tons of meat every single meal. I was so programmed, I realized that it got to a place where I would only pick meals with meat in it. Like if we went to a restaurant and I would read an item on the menu and it didn't in meat, I would ask like, does it come with any meat? Oh, okay, nah, I don't want that. So I was literally programmed to think that you're not getting the bang for your buck if you didn't eat meat. You're not, you know what I'm saying, gonna be full if you didn't eat meat. And I realized that not only do I not need meat, but it's actually more expensive to eat when you don't eat meat, which, you know, is asinine to me, but whatever. Um, what I also learned, speaking of those menus, is that I enjoy the healthier options. I think I would go to restaurants before and I would see, oh, well, you can switch this out for that as a healthier option. Or I would see the items on the menu that were part of like a fit program that this restaurant would have. And I would just kind of bypass that completely. It was very ignorant. And if you're doing that, please, please stop doing that. Save yourself. Why not? Why not pay attention to the menu? Why not choose the healthier option? I think especially in the African American community, we look at the lighter options, the healthier options, as I'm not going to get the bang for my buck. I'm out and I'm eating. It's going to cost such and such dollars, and I want meat. You know what I mean? Or the light or fit options on the menu is like a something that's like in the corner of the menu that we don't even bother to look at or pay attention to. We have to stop programming our minds to think that. And what I found is that I like the healthier options better, because when I leave the restaurant, if my family and I, or my husband and I, plan to go shopping or do something, I'm not exhausted and sleepy and cranky and ready to go home after I go out to eat. I'm satisfied and I'm ready to go continue on with my day. I realized that I didn't have to save. In my family, in my household, if we were doing stuff, we would go out to eat. Like if we were running around shopping, buying clothes or whatever for the kids or whatever, video games, whatever we're doing that day, or going to see a movie, we would always put dinner last. Dinner or going out to eat was always the last thing, because mom and dad knows that after they eat, they're going to be tired. I no longer have to do that. It's like if we're hungry, we can eat now and we can shop later. We can eat now, we can go to the movie after, because I'm not going to eat foods that make me feel exhausted. You know what I mean? So I realize that I enjoy the healthier options, okay? Um I realize that I am a self-controlled beast. Do you hear me? I do not need to put anything in my mouth that I don't want in my mouth. If I am at a barbecue and everything has pork or meat in it, I I won't eat. I'll enjoy my family. I'll do what I do. I've even learned to carry my food with me. Bring me a salad, because I know if it's a barbecue with my family, it's gonna be meat at that barbecue. That's just how my family is. I grew up in a family full of cooks, people who have impeccable culinary skills. You know what I mean? So it and I wasn't tempted to put anything in my mouth that I didn't want. I've been out to eat. One particular family member, as a joke, was like, "Oh, it's nothing on the menu for you here. I guess you just gotta go ahead and eat meat." I'm thinking it was a joke. I hope it was a joke. And I was like, "No, I'm just not gonna eat." And when we're done chilling here, I'm gonna chill with you guys. I'm gonna have my drink, and when we leave, I'll have my husband stop by one of the restaurants that I want something to eat from. I realize that I have impeccable self-control. That if there are no menu options, then there's just not an option for me here, and then I would go and get something to eat afterwards. So that was something that I really learned about myself. What I learned also is that my not eating meat, what I thought was just a journey of me not eating meat for a year, actually was so connected to my spiritual and mental journey. It taught me so much about myself, about caring for my body, about caring about what I put in my body. It changed the things that I put on my body, because if I am taking care of myself and what I eat, then I'm also going to take care of my skin and what I put on my body. I've switched out my products for the most part to all natural products. I don't use anything other than maybe black soap. Is something that you're not supposed to eat, but usually whatever I put on my scalp, on my skin, is something that you can consume. A lot of apple cider vinegar, etc. And I'm going to talk to everybody about my skincare regimen as well, because a lot of coworkers, a lot of friends and family members have been complimenting me on my skin and asking me what I'm doing, and it's so simple. So I'm going to share that too. I also realized that it's very dangerous to eat out when you don't eat meat. One situation that happened, my husband and I went to this bar and grill because I had looked and saw that they had this Impossible Burger that everybody has now, the Impossible Burger. And I went there, and I believe that my food was cooked too close to the bacon, and I was like sick, like puking, having all kind of issues. Had to like basically cancel the rest of my day because I got instantly sick. um when I'm not eating meat, I realized that medicines work faster, things make me sick quicker. I instantly see some kind of reaction in my body to what I eat. If I eat something that's supposed to give me energy, I feel it instantly. If I eat something that kind of weighs me down, because I went through phases of pasta and spaghetti, a girl's time of month, that's what I like to eat during that time of month. I would instantly feel bloated and exhausted and tired, um, even the more than I would typically feel. So those are a few things that I learned. Let me share some of my ups with you guys. Some things that went well for me during this time. Some things that I'm proud of. So let me see. Weight loss and mental clarity. I lost a substantial amount of weight, and it was healthy weight loss. I feel great in my clothes. Right now, I'm kind of gaining it back because Thanksgiving went by and I cooked a big meal, and it seems like I was on this spiral of carbs after that. So I'm gaining a little bit of it back, and people are saying that they can't tell, but because I'm not eating meat, I can tell immediately. I feel the bloat, I feel the heaviness, I feel it immediately. I haven't weighed myself this year, believe it or not, and it's not intentionally, I guess. it's just not a losing the weight was not the priority for me. I was so focused on what I consumed and what I put in my mouth and what I did not put in my mouth, that the weight loss was kind of a footnote to me eating well. And I know people say that, but it's actually true. I enjoyed the weight loss. Don't get it twisted. I enjoyed the weight loss. However, I just did not weigh myself. I just know that I feel like I lost maybe about 20 pounds. It's possible. 15 to 20. Mental clarity. I've never been more sharp. Even at my job, I work in the restaurant industry, and it is like a constant move and do this, do that, and I am very sharp at work now. Very quick to recover, whereas if a mistake was made by somebody else or by myself, I would kind of get stuck like, oh my god, this is finna ruin us this shift. Now I'm kind of quick to get it together and fix it and move on. Even with my children, with helping with their homework, as they say, the new math, I'm a little sharper with figuring out what's going on there and helping them with that. I'm not as foggy brained or forgetful or having those moments of, I had a lot less moments of, what did I come in this room for? I had a lot less of those moments. And I know we've all had a moment where we got up and we went in the kitchen and we like, what did I come in here for? I can tell you that those moments kind of were very far and few in between. I had more energy. I wasn't as lazy. Even during my time of month, I get very fatigued. Typically, I can't push myself to do anything. There were times where my cycle was so bad that I would call off work. It was that bad. And I had a lot less of that. I was kind of on the go. Pop up and could randomly take the kids to the park. We went to ride bikes. I had a lot more energy, you know. I had less depression. Anybody that knows me know that I struggle sometimes with, especially around that time of month, I go into this depression and I don't really want to do anything. It's just like a blah. You're not sad, but you're just not happy. You just feel like yuck, you know. I had less of those moments even during my cycle. The fifth thing was I was able to motivate my husband. My husband went 3 months without eating meat. He was more of a junk food vegetarian than myself, but he went 3 months, he didn't eat meat, and I see him consciously making decisions to eat better. I see that the decision to eat poorly nags at him now. It bothers him more, whereas my husband is the kind of guy, he'll hit every drive-through on the way, grab a burger and not think anything of it. Now he's like he thinks a lot about what he eats before he does, which makes me happy to know that I'm kind of shifting and changing his association and his relationship with food, which was embedded in him for years, you know. So I'm grateful about that. Let me share with you guys some of my epic fails. Let's start with Thanksgiving. First of all, my mom is known for her dressing. It's amazing, right? So I decided I was going to vegetarianize her dressing recipe, which wasn't hard. I just simply was switching the broth that she would use from the turkey, or the drippings from the turkey that she would use, and I switched it out for veggie broth, which was chicken flavored. If you guys want to know where I got the vegetarian broth that had the chicken flavor, I'll insert it below. Just let me know or whatever. So anyway, I did this recipe. One of the ingredients that she used in the dressing that actually is vegetarian is cream of mushroom soup, right? So I'm like, that's great. I already have that. When I'm going shopping, I don't need to get that. We're good. I get home, I make my vegetarian version of the dressing, pop it in the oven, only to look to my left on my kitchen counter and realize that I put cream of mushroom and chicken soup in the dressing. So the one thing that she did use that was vegetarian, I put meat in it, and it was ridiculous. And of course, I still ate it because it's dressing. It's dressing. I'm gonna eat it. And so I made this big pie. So I used 2 cans. One was cream of mushroom, and one was cream of mushroom and chicken. I ate it anyway. Those things happen. I didn't make myself feel like things were so strict that, oh my god, I can't eat it now. Whatever, it's Thanksgiving, I'm gonna have the dressing. I tried, right? So that was an epic fail. Another thing that I consider an epic fail was there was a period of times where I wanted to fulfill this kind of meat feeling. So occasionally I allowed myself salmon. And I kind of wish that I would have went this year even without the salmon as well, because toward the end of this, like the last 6 months, I realized that I needed the salmon less and less, and so I could have just cut it from the beginning. But there was times where we would have all the sides, and I would feel like I needed something that felt like meat, so I would go for the salmon. And so I did that quite a few times throughout this year. Ugh, and that was something that I wish I would have cut out completely. We're not even going to get on the fact that fish has so much mercury in it. It's not always the best for you. Salmon is one of the fish that has good fat in it, though, with the omegas, which is also good for my hair growth, because I don't know, a lot of people know I have tractional alopecia in this area. And so the omegas are great for my hair growth, you know. What else? I didn't have these. Speaking of the tractional alopecia, I didn't have the significant amount of hair growth that I thought I was gonna have when I wasn't eating meat, and I kicked up all of my biotin foods such as eggs, sweet potato, broccoli, the foods that are good for hair growth like the salmon, and all of these different foods that I know were to help me, leafy greens, those kind of things. However, areas of my tractional alopecia that I have here in the center of my hair, they are sprouting hair, whereas they weren't even sprouting at first. I just maybe had an unrealistic expectation of, by the end of this year, this was going to be almost healed. And so we have to watch those unrealistic expectations. However, my weight loss expectations were exceeded above and beyond what I expected, because I barely worked out this 6 months. Over the summer, I would go for walks. Over the summer, I would dance. Sometimes I'll turn the music on. Me and my daughter will dance. We'll just, so I can work up a sweat. I will go to the beach sometimes and take a little walk. I'm the kind of person, I work with random moments of energy. So sometimes if I'm watching TV in the living room, I'll get up and bust out a few jumping jacks, a few sit-ups whenever I have a burst of energy, just because I was compensating for knowing that I was not really working out as much as I should have been this year. Anybody that knows me knows I just cannot stand working out. And this year, that's actually one of my goals, to work that into my life permanently. Um, so the fact that I lost so much weight, knowing that I was not working out to accompany the no meat, was actually above my expectations. So I guess that makes up for me not having the amount of hair growth that I wanted. The more I bought these healthy foods for myself to eat, the more I realized, but you cannot keep putting chemical lotion, and I'm even getting rid of my chemical deodorants now. I'm gonna switch to all natural deodorants really soon. I just gotta find one that works for me, because I hate the sweat, and it makes you just very conscious of what you put on your body, which also in turn made me very conscious of the way I look. This marks a year of me wearing a head wrap the majority of my year. If you guys look back at some of my videos, most of my videos and pictures, I have a head wrap on, which was just a symbol of modesty for me this year, to make me put beauty to the back burner of my life and focus on cleansing myself from the inside out. Focus on correcting the things that I need to correct about my body, which in turn made me feel more beautiful, even with my hair covered. I wore modest clothes the entire year. This is the most amount of skin that was out. My arm, I wore shorts sometimes. But it changed my life in many ways. And one of the ways that it changed my life was making sure that I was a example for my daughter, that her body is not to be shown, that she's beautiful, that she doesn't need a cover up. I didn't wear wigs this year. I didn't wear weaves this year. I wore my natural hair or a head wrap, and that was it. And most of the times it was a head wrap, because we have to teach them that they're beautiful alone, not with a wig or a weave or with makeup or with provocative clothes, things that push this up and push that out. And so I did an effort to feel beautiful without any help from anything that the world tells me beauty is. And um that is a very serious and important lesson that I want to convey to my daughter, but I can't teach her that lesson if I'm always wearing a weave or a wig or makeup, if I'm always pushing my boobs up and pushing my butt out. So eating well kind of changed the way I dressed as well. It changed my confidence, and whether we want to admit it or not, it is a lack of confidence when we feel like we have to do certain things to feel beautiful. When my skin cleared up, I didn't need anything else. When I realized my hair was growing and it was beautiful, when I realized that the weight was coming off and I didn't need certain clothes to accentuate this or that, it just made me feel amazing from the inside out. And so I pushed that and pushed that and pushed that on my daughter very militantly, constantly, just so that she knows she's beautiful without help, because God created her beautiful, and God created the foods that she needs to eat to maintain that beauty, excuse me. And God also created the things that she needs to take care of her skin that makes her beauty. And it's not typically found in a perfume store, so that was something that I was really excited about, is that not it's not only just preaching that to her, but feeling it for myself. So those were some of my highs and my lows, my epic fails of this year. This has been an awesome year. My future plans, if I choose to reintroduce meat into my life. I feel like meat is very dangerous. It's very dangerous to eat. We always have to keep in mind that this is a living being. Plants are living, don't get me wrong, but this is a living being that has moods, that get sick, that can get tumors, that can, you know what I'm saying, not feel so well, that can be slaughtered in the midst of a fever. You know what I mean? Could you imagine having to eat a sick cow? You know what I mean? So you have to be careful, because animals are living beings with its own set of issues and moods and problems, and these animals are not being checked thoroughly sometimes before they are sent to slaughter and sold to us, sometimes with that fever, sometimes with that tumor, sometimes even in that bad mood, and we don't know what that does to us spiritually. I think that meat is very dangerous, but I'm not an extremist where I feel like meat is just the devil, it's horrible, don't eat it. However, should I ever introduce meat back to my diet, it would be on an occasional basis. It would be if me and my husband was to go out to dinner and the vegetarian options don't wow me, I may have the chicken or the salmon. Um, but very occasional basis. I will never go back to eating meat daily. I would never go back to eating meat with every meal. I don't even think I'd go back to eating meat weekly, honestly. Um, because anything that I cut out of my life that improved my mind, my skin, my body, my way of thoughts, my confidence, my weight loss, that improved all of those areas of my life so much, I simply don't need it. I'm trying to get my family on board. I have growing boys. They eat a lot. It's tough to get them to let go of the meat, and I don't even know if they should right now. Because again, I'm not an extremist that way, and I'm your average everyday mom. I'm not probably going to be whipping up vegan meals every day for them to eat. It's just unrealistic for my life right now. I thank you guys for sitting with me. That is my year. I just pray that you guys have an awesome 2019, that you are more conscious of every single thing that you put in your mouth. Everything that you put in your mouth is serious, and it's either going to go toward the nourishing of your body or to the detriment of your body. So we always have to kind of keep that in mind. I just pray that health wise we all grow and we learn and we make decisions that are conducive to our mind, our body, our largest living organism, which is our skin, grow and flourish and operate in its proper way. People feel like some of the things that you feel are normal. Those random aches and pains that you feel are normal. Those days that you wake up and you're bloated and you're gassy, it's just one of those days again. This is not normal. It's not normal, and it's time for you to take control of your body and beat your body and your nutrition into the submission of what works well for your life. We cannot prosper if we feed ourselves dead corpse every single meal. It's not going to work. How can you live if you're eating dead corpses every single day? So I want you guys to just go into this new year thinking heavily on what God, what Yahweh would have you to put into your body, because it's very serious. And I want you guys to have an awesome new year. Work out, go out, hang out, play with your kids, pray more, live, be happy, take that trip this year. But number one, finally have that diet that you know is best for you. I know it's nagging at you. I know you eat certain things and you like, I don't got no business eating this. Cut it out. Cut it out. Have a blessed day, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Have a great one. Bye.